What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me once again for another one of Hoggie's beer reviews. And today, we may have what could possibly be the first ever infected beer that I try. The beer in question is this right here. Take a look. This is called Old Habit. Old Habit is from the Ithaca Beer Company in New York, and this happens to be from their Excelsior line of big beers. Now, I'll get to the whole infected thing in a second. But before I get into it, I want to give a shout out to Barry from Barry's Beer Reviews. Barry and I did a trade a few months ago, and this is one of the beers he sent me. So Barry, thanks again. Don't think I forgot about the beer. We're going to get to it right now. And for everybody else, check out Barry's channel. He does some good stuff. I'll put the link to it down here in a little info box or bar, whatever. But back to the beer. And I requested this because I wanted to try a beer from Ithaca. And this just seemed really interesting when I saw it on the website. After I get it, I learned that some of these beers, one specific batch actually, had been infected. Now, when a beer becomes infected, I mean, it's not dangerous, it's not unhealthy, it's just that it's somehow contaminated by bacteria, and what happens is that the bacteria eats away at the sugars in the beer, so it basically ruins the beer because it becomes very sour and very tart. Let me just read what it says on here. Old Habit. A malt beverage aged in oak barrels. Okay? It says, a robust American ale brewed with 4 different rye malts and fresh Centennial and Crystal hops. It is partly fermented in whiskey barrels, then carefully blended. Enjoy the gorgeous ruby color, rich barrel-derived aroma, deep earthly flavors, and the warm, spicy finish. Okay, and then it says batch, E, exclamation point 017. And from everything I've read and researched, that's the infected batch. I couldn't find any specific information from Ithaca, from the brewery, not on their website. I couldn't find anything from them. Everything that I read was comments and reviews. But I got it on good information that this is the infected batch. But oddly enough, and I try not to read any reviews about the beer before I try it. So in what I could read and what I did see, even people who had beers from this batch liked it. And just to give you an idea about that, on Beer Advocate, it receives an A- out of 82 reviews. So that's pretty good, all things considered. And of course, this is from the Ithaca Beer Company in New York. Beer Advocate categorizes this as a rye beer. I don't think that's proper. I mean, this is kind of an Imperial Crazy rye beer, but okay, whatever. It's 9% alcohol by volume, and there's a note on here saying this beer is retired, no longer brewed. Okay, so I mean, I like rye beers. I'm curious to see what a rye beer that's aged in whiskey barrels is going to taste like, and the whole thing that it may be infected it makes me even more curious. So, with all that said, we're going to get to it now. I have my snifter. Beer Advocate says a pint glass is suitable for this beer. This is a crazy rich imperial beer. I'm not going to drink that out of a standard little shaker pint. Rate Beer says snifter. I agree. So we break out the snifter, and now this is a fancy bottle. I like the label. They got this little metallic paper stuff wrap thing on the neck here. So we need a knife to cut this off. It's a regular cap underneath here, though. It's not a cord. I'll take a look at the cap, see if the cap is anything special. Oh, and it's a plain gold cap. That sucks. I was hoping for... Actually, you know what? It's a cap that has a little bump on it. So I'll save that. What the hell? So... a lot of crap here. I'm going to get all this off so I don't end up with any of this in my beer. Lord knows there may be enough funky stuff in the beer as it is. So yeah. It's funny, it's just got like a little bump, little circular bump there in the middle of the cap though, but nothing special. But anyways, same knife. Don't try this at home. Whoa! It may be infected after all. Fortunately, there was no spillage. Alright, I think I can pour a little more in there. Alright, put that right there. Alright. good. I caught a lot in that smell, and the first thing it made me think of was wine. It does have kind of a wine, kind of like a port kind of quality to it. Dark fruits and stuff like that. That is a very interesting smell indeed. Very nice head, khaki colored, light khaki, but still very thick. Thick soapy head, and it says ruby red color. Shit, I can't even see through this. Yeah, it's just more like a very dark, rich mahogany color. Again, I'm not getting any light through there at all. And the head is receded a bit, but it's sticking to the glass nicely. The nose is complex. I'm getting dark fruit, you know, dates and plums kind of thing. I'm getting some cherries. I'm getting some malts. And I'm getting a little hint of something else. I don't want to say funky, because it's not unpleasant, but can't quite place it. And there is a bit of kind of like a whiskey aroma to it. Kind of a rich, almost smoky, kind of alcohol-y smell. Because I drank a lot of whiskey in my day, so I kind of recognize that smell. It makes me think of bourbon, but I could be wrong. But yeah, enough of that. Alright. So we have a rich beer you can't see through, a lot of interesting smells, and the possibility of infection. Oh, let's see how this turns out. Yeah, slightly infected, because there's kind of a sourness to it. And it's like a wine quality, kind of like that dry, almost sour bitterness. It's not bad though. And there is a spiciness from the malt that makes it very interesting. It's a well blended. I mean, I love the idea, and I wish I could have one of these that was just, you know, fresh and pure. Because the idea of all the rye malts, the whiskey barrels, I mean, it's a hell of an idea. But there's a sourness there. There's something a little off in this beer. And the texture, it's almost grainy. Almost like, it's hard to describe. It's rich, it's thick, yes, it's a full mouthfeel, full bodied beer, but there's a slight graininess, grittiness to it that doesn't seem right. Yeah, this beer's not right. And it's a damn shame, because I can see this working. The spiciness from the rye malts blend beautifully with the flavor added by aging in whiskey barrels, because you have that kind of peaty, smoky, alcohol-y whiskiness to it. And it blends beautifully with the spiciness from the rye. And yes, you can detect the alcohol, you get a little bit of the warmth, you can even smell it because it's 9%, but it blends beautifully with the whiskey, so it's like, it smells like whiskey. Well, of course you can note the alcohol, I mean, it's, you know, whiskey. Again, if whiskey, rye, kind of a port wine quality, you know what, this beer is contaminated, so, it's tainted, it's compromised, so I'm not going to rate this, I can't. All I can say is that if you can get your hands on one of these, try it out of curiosity, and if you can get your hands on one of these that's not the infected batch, get it, because it's a hell of a flavor combination, and a great idea from the folks at Ithaca. Sadly, I can't really judge how their execution went down, but from what I can see, this would have been a killer beer if it wasn't for that damn infection. So that's it. If anybody has any information on this specific issue with the batch from Ithaca, press release, something on their website, anything like that, shoot me an email. I'd love to read it. I'd love to check out those links. But that's it, man. The Old Habit from Ithaca. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it, but it's interesting nonetheless. So thanks for watching, guys. Barry, thanks for the beer, and cheers.